Welcome to my channel. Trying to find which color I like today. Probably gonna be a black and white one. Cause I just love talking in black and white. By the way, I'm Coco. And I love to wear my mask. And y'all know why I wear the mask, because I need dental work, okay? So I want to talk right quick before my crowd comes up about narcissists and why people with narcissistic personality disorders tend to mimic everything you do. It's like they mirror everything that you do. They mimic it. They mock you. They make you feel bad for being you. And, you just being you, the real you. So here it goes. My thing with dealing with narcissists, I've been dealing with them since I was a child, right? I learned what narcissism was in 2018. And I had to learn it because I was going through so much in life, I just didn't know what to do. 2020, I lose my memory, and I'm like, okay, here we go again with some more stuff. But I noticed when I was younger, and also as I got older, I noticed there were certain people who was always just in competition with me for no reason at all. Y'all, I have no more than the next person has. I'm not rich. I'm not famous. None of that stuff. And yet, I always found that certain people was in competition with me. It didn't matter what I did, how raggedy I made it. Look, they were just always in competition with me. And I started blaming myself, and I started trying to change myself up to be like everybody else was, to conform into everybody else's ways. And it didn't do nothing for me but bring heartache. It made me cry. I spent a lot of nights crying because of who I wasn't to others. I didn't have no identity about myself, didn't know who I really was until I started studying the Word of God. That's what brought me into my true self. Other than that, I was faking who I really was to fit in with everybody else. Most of the people I hung around had either a trait of narcissism, or either they were a narcissist. And we're talking about both kinds. Some of them, it was hard to detect it in them because they were so nice and loving with the love bombing and always giving and caring. I mean, just act like they were just always trying to help me and had my best interest at hand. And I fell for it. I would fall for it every time. I'd be like, thank you. I don't know how you knew, but I sure needed this. Not knowing that the only reason why they were giving me stuff was to insult me and to make me feel bad about the things that I could not afford or didn't have. So these same people that were giving me stuff, I started noticing that they started mimicking me. They started trying to talk like me and stuff and dress like me, and they were starting to kind of like steal my personality. Now, they did not do this in front of me. They didn't try to be me in front of me. They would wait till they get around other people to fool them, to make them think that, they had the same care for others as I do. So it didn't happen in my presence, but there would be videos, or there would be flyers, or there would be posters or something where somebody has created the same thing that I created. And I'm not saying that people can't be like that, but what I'm saying is, when you know who a person really is, then you know what they're capable of doing. See, did I just see a knot back there? Oh, I thought I saw a knot in my hair. See, for me, I could do stuff for people out of love, and I'm not going to ever bring it up again. A narcissist would do something for people and make it look like it's out of love. And they're going to continue to bring it up. Every time you make them mad, they're going to find some reason to bring it up as to why they had to do a thing for you and make you feel bad about the things that you couldn't do, or about the things that they had to do for you. So I started noticing that this person was trying to take my traits and pass them off as their own. But one thing I do know It's just like a leopard never changes its spots. And you know why it can't change its spots? Because it's in the root of them. It's in their skin. It's in their protein. They cannot change that. Once narcissism has gotten in the root of a person, they have rebelled against God. They have rejected God and going for their own way. And God will take his hands off and say, "Go ahead then. You think you got this? Go ahead." And that's what I notice about certain people. They play the God role, and you'll know the difference. The difference is, if I do something for you, I'm not going to bring it back up to you. I'm not going to sit here and keep score of every wrong that you do to me. But a narcissist will keep score of every wrong or every action that you do to them. If you injured them any kind of way in their ego, they going to get you back. They going to get you back. They don't care if they go to jail or prison for it. They rather not, but they still going to get you back. And if that's what it called for, that's what it called for. So when you see them mimicking you, it's because they jealous of you. They envy you because they don't get the same response back that you get. And see, people like me, I don't want the attention. I just want to spread the word. I just want to let people know that, hey, you can get through this. You can train your mind to think better and to do better. That's what I want to let people know. But a narcissist may look at it and say, well, she getting all that attention over on that channel. Let me do the same thing she doing. And it don't work like that. Everybody's not the same. But you will know when they start copying you. It's hard for them to take that face off, because if they take it off, it's going to blow the whole cover. I had a lot of people doing that around me that was, well, I'm not going to say a lot of, but it was a right smart of people who would get around me and they would tell me what they thought I wanted to hear, and they would act in other words, quote, quote, pleasing manner. Can somebody quote that right now? Pleasing manner. They would act in a pleasing manner, thinking that I would not see the real them, the real wolf they were. But I saw the real them. And I saw the real them because I know how bad they had hurt me before. So I knew to have my guard up when they came around. But I see so many people doing it like they just fake who they really are to get by in life. And that's why they're miserable. That's why they want to see everybody else around them miserable, because they don't have a real self-worth. Look at me. I may be living where I'm living and doing how I'm doing, but I value myself. I don't put myself down because of what I don't have, or what I see somebody else doing that's better than me. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't put yourself down either. Because we all are on different journeys. And if this is just where we at right now, this is just where we at. And we make do the best we can. But we should never have to fake being in a pleasing manner just to get attention and stuff. And see, that's what the narcissist does. They fake who they are just to get attention. They put on a mask just as well as I put on this mask so you can't see that I don't have teeth, right? See, I'm giving you an illusion right now. You don't know what my teeth are looking like because I'm covered. And that's how the covert narcissist and the overt narcissist is. They cover themselves with wearing masks. They have to pick out people that they wish they could be like, and then get around others. Well, get around that person, learn their spirit, learn their personality, learn their manners, and then go back and use it with other people. And next thing you know, they start getting the attention they want. Problem is, because it's so fake, it's not enough for them. Once that light goes out, and I mean, it starts getting boring and dull to them, now they got to get around more people and pretend to be who they're not. Then when those people get dull to them, they have to keep cycling, and then sometimes they'll recycle people. they'll come back around to some of the same people if they feel their fuel is getting low and they don't have enough people cheering them on or admiring and praising what they're doing. And you can call that triangulation, by the way, too. It's like church hoppers. Take church hoppers, for example. A person may go to church here because, not because the spirit is good or because it sets well with their soul, but they might attend the church because this is where they feel like the fit is. Because when they first start going, they're being admired and everybody is bragging on their gifts and lifting them up and saying, oh, you're going to make a great preacher, you make a great singer. And as long as people are admiring them, they're going to stay in that position. But then when they feel like, hey, people ain't admiring me the way they used to, they're not bragging on me, they're not calling on me to do things anymore, they got to move to another church. That church going to be so irritating to them. If they stay there, it's going to be irritating to them. They're going to start the smear campaign. Wait, let me back it up. Let me back it up. I don't want to give that too soon. Okay, so if they go to this church and everybody's loving on them and they're loving on everybody, they're love bombing them now, then what they got to do when they start seeing that, hey, something don't feel right now. It's boring here, it's dull here, nobody won't let me preach, nobody's calling on me before they had me doing all this stuff, and everybody was admiring my works. Mind you, your works will not get you into heaven. So if heaven is your goal, your works ain't gonna do it. Okay, let's go on. So now that people aren't bragging on their works or giving them anything to do, now it comes, I got to get up out of here. This is how the narcissist is thinking. I got to get up out of this church. They smother me. They taking my gifting. I can't take this. And so they start a smear campaign on the church, on the people in the church, on the pastor of the church. And this is how they get out of that church, is by lying on people, saying that people said this and did so many things to them, and they move and go to the next church. Hey y'all, I'm on YouTube Live. Y'all got everything? Hey YouTube, y'all, let me show y'all. Hold it. There they go. We are finna have some more cooking today. Hi Destiny, say hello. We're getting ready to have some barbecue chicken, and what we gonna have with that? Barbecue chicken?
Yeah, macaroni.
Macaroni and cheese? Barbecue chicken, macaroni and cheese. There you go. I'm getting ready to cook with the girls. Are you helping me cook? Say hello.
We're going somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's right. Y'all going somewhere. So me and Serenity staying with me.
So you want to stay with her?
Serenity, are you staying with me or going with your mama?
No.
Huh?
They both went home.
Okay, so Serenity's staying with me, so it's gonna be me and Serenity cooking. All right, thanks, girl. Bye. Huh? What? Oh yes, I gotta have water, y'all, to cook. They in my bedroom. Get to them. It's two of them back there. It should be. So I have to get water in the jugs, but that's all right, y'all. Yeah, she getting them now. Oh, Kyrie didn't get to say hey to y'all.
Hey.
Show them what you got. I already got
Macaroni, my favorite.
Yeah, she got the macaroni. Her favorite.
Yeah, my favorite.
All right, girl. All right. So let me ask y'all something while we're sitting here and I'm waiting for them to get everything they need. How's my view? Is it clear to y'all? Can y'all see me clearly? Because on my end it looks clear, but sometimes when I go back and replay, it's not clear. I'm gonna start back talking once they get everything set up too. Jessica, can you check and see how this is? It's on YouTube, My Plus Size Grandma reality show. Trying to see the quality of my video, because sometimes y'all, I get hit with the Wi-Fi jammers out here, and and it just messes up the signal and it messes up the picture. Cause I see a clear face, but I don't know what y'all seeing. So y'all, this is sometimes the type of jugs like I had to keep getting these refilled. If you go back to some of my other videos, you'll see why. Huh? So what they'll do is go and stack me up with water. They'll go get me some water so that I can. Okay, bring it here. Let's see. Yeah. Oh man, it's lagging. Okay. So what they'll do is go and stack me up with water. Bye, Grandma. Oh, it is going slow. Okay, bye, baby. All right, I'm gonna get on this, y'all. Soon as she get back, I'm gonna talk on here a little bit while don't y'all forget to like and subscribe. Bye. Shout out to my loves. Okay, y'all. So, all right, Destiny, get off now. Okay, so they leaving now, and I'm gonna get back. Let me go back through this and explain this again. I gotta shut this a little bit because Serenity in there watching YouTube, and I don't want to get booted off. Okay, so before they came, I was saying what happens to the church narcissist is okay. Do I have to go back and repeat this? Let's get to the part where I said when things don't go their way and people stop giving them the praise, then they feel like it's time for me to move to the next church. Or they may recycle churches. They may go back to an old former church. Bye, girl. I'm just not seeing her. Thanks, Destiny. I know that's Destiny wrote that. So they may recycle churches to make themselves feel better about themselves. If that church would have them, they'll recycle and they'll add that church to part of their triangulation. And it's sad because they got to steal other people's identities and make other people feel bad so that they won't use their gifts in order to make themselves feel good. And they only feel good about themselves for what, probably an hour or two, and then they right back to feeling like they are nobodies. I mean, it's all them. So I've experienced that, and I've experienced that mimicking and that mocking, and I'm gonna tell you, it does hurt. And when I get around people who do that, I just usually just back away from them. I let them have the floor. I don't tell you, look, there's no reasoning with a fool. The Bible will teach you that. I'm not finna sit there and lose my energy. Because anybody that know narcissists know that they are a vampire. They will suck the life out of you. So I don't try to fuss back with people that are like that. As far as the mimicking and mocking, consider it and count it all joy. And I say this because if somebody wants to be like you, then that means you must be doing something right. That's the only way I can say. If they so envious of you that they want to be you, they want to do like you, then let them. But you stay true to you. Because if you don't stay true to you, then you're going to fall for anything, including them. Because narcissists set out to destroy people's lives in hopes that they would look like the king or queen in people's lives. I've seen so many destroy each other's lives. I mean, if you come from a family of narcissists, man, that family dynamics is jacked up. I mean, I'm talking about it's so bad that you have it being taught not only to, you have the elders of that family teaching it on down to the smallest and the youngest ones. And so you have to be careful how you let your kids visit your family members because they can be teaching them the very opposite of what you are teaching them. And that was something I had to deal with, with my kids growing up. I didn't want it. There was just certain things I didn't want my kids being around. And because I chose not to put my kids around those things, it was other family members that hated me because of that. They hated that I had standards and that I had boundaries. I didn't want my kids going around in and everybody. So my kids was not at everybody's house, the aunts and the uncles and stuff like that. Because if I wasn't welcome, what made you think I was gonna take my kids? Okay? So sometimes you have the narcissists that will mimic your parenting skills just so they can get your kids. And when they get your kids, they're going to teach them everything that you don't want them taught. They're going to teach them all this demonic stuff. They're going to teach them the things that you don't teach is what they will teach them. Like how to steal, how to cheat their way through life, how to fake like somebody. They'll teach them how to gossip. I remember one of my granddaughters, oh my God, I had to work with her hard. She went around somebody who was gossiping, and next thing you know, she was coming home from school and she would start gossiping. And I would tell her, no, no, girl, you don't want to start entertaining that kind of spirit, because that's something, once you get started on that, that can hurt people, that can destroy lives. I had to let her know what gossiping can do to people. But see, the people who she was getting it from made it sound juicy. Oh, let me tell you the latest scoop. They made it sound like it was a good thing to be doing, gossiping. Like this is what God want us to do. God want us to talk about each other. God want us to drag each other, bring each other down. That's the way they were presenting it to my granddaughter. And I had to come behind them and correct that thing the right way. Girl, if you gossiping, you smearing somebody's name. You murdering somebody's character. You could drive somebody to a place that they don't want to be in. See, you got to think, they wasn't born narcissists. They were driven to be narcissists. They were driven to be narcissists. And that's why they are narcissists, because people treated them ill willed in their life. And they broke their little spirits when they were little kids. And they broke their hearts and they turned cold. And it was hard for them to come back from that. And no matter what you say or do, that guard is there on them. It's locked in. Only God can unlock that guard that they have put up that is evil. It's guarded with evil. Only God can unlock that. And if God can't do it, don't you dare think you can. Some of you women who choose to stay in relationships with narcissistic men, you can't unlock that man's heart. That man's heart is shut. Y'all, my water is here. Let me show y'all how it looks. All right. Here comes the water. We'll get back to it, y'all. Thank you. What y'all got? One jug, two jugs, two. Okay. All right. Who's got the other jug of water? Oh, look at that big bird. Hey, you say something?
No, Mom.
Oh. Come on.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye. You staying here, Kyra?
I need to put this thing.
Huh?
I need to put it in what thing?
Oh, I know that's good. Don't chew all that gum at one time. Let me hold it. Let me hold it. Go on in there and put that water up there. Y'all see what Kyra got? Some chicken. Oh, what is... Girl, I don't know what Serena listening to. Shut the door, Kyra.
You put the color? You want one?
Oh, I can have one? I'm going to take... This is chicklet. Okay, I'm going to take a grape.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Got one of these. Thank you. All right. Hopefully by the time y'all get back, me and Serenity have something cooked. I'm gonna try to get Serenity to make some cornbread. That's what I'm gonna do with her. Okay. All right, y'all. So I gotta get cooking in a few minutes. But if anybody has any questions of what I'm talking about, just hit me up down there in the chat. I will see you in the bottom. Um, I last was saying, and I do stop talking when they come along so I can, just let them know what I need and, y'all know. Okay, so another example is a woman who gets with a man who is a narcissist, or a man who gets with a woman. If you get with a narcissist, just know their heart is locked. It's fixed. I don't care how spiritual you are. You cannot unlock somebody who has rejected God. You can't do it. A lot of these narcissists, they don't recover from narcissism because they don't want to. As far as they are concerned, this is who I am and this is who I'm going to stay. This is who I have always been. Why do I got to change for you? And if they do change, they probably going to be faking. So that's why it's so important to educate yourself on what narcissism is, because these guys and women, they know how to play your heart. They can feel like the one. I mean, they'll give you a fantasy ride like never before. But when that ride starts slowing down and coming to an end, it's the most painful thing, and it's so hard to get over. Narcissism messes with the brain. People have brain damage from it. Brain damage so bad till it's called PTSD. Brain damage. You know how hard it is to fix brain damage from a broken heart? Only God can do that. Because like I said, these people didn't get like this overnight. They got like that over time when they were little children. And since a little child, this is the personality they developed as a child or as a teenager. This is the personality they developed. It's in them. It's their core. It's their belief system. It's the way they believe. And so when you see them, they don't really know how to be people. That's why they gotta mimic and mock people, because they never really learn how to be their own person, their own true self. They need you to feed off of you. See, if they don't have nobody to feed off of, then they eat themselves up. And they already do that anyway, but it gets worse. And it makes them have to look within themselves, and they're not going to do that. So they rather just put the blame on everybody else than to look within themselves. That's what they rather do. I've dealt with it. I've lived this life of recovering from narcissism. I've lived this life. I didn't realize as a young child that that's what I was dealing with growing up, was narcissists. I didn't know that, because a lot of times, we call it this. That person treating me bad. That's what we call it. I don't want to go around her because she's mean. Or I don't want to be around him because he's mean. But we don't know that it's a personality cluster B disorder, personality disorder at the time. So when we're little kids, we're just saying that's the mean one, that's the bad one. I don't want to be around that. So you grow up, you go your separate ways, but life has a way of bringing you back to the people who injured you or who abused you. When you come back around, you don't even realize how bad you've been hurt as a child until you become an adult. And I'm not talking about like in I wouldn't say the 20s and the 30s. Most people don't realize how bad they were damaged till they was in their till they're in their 40s and 50s. Because the 20s and 30s, you're still kind of like running wild and still kind of like sowing oats and not ready to settle down into life yet. But it's when you begin to settle down, that's when you realize that something's missing in my life, or you start to realize, hey, this person wasn't never who they said they were. I can give you a good example. It used to be certain ladies that would come around and we'd be like, yeah, now that woman really forgot her. And it looked like that when we were children. But then when we got older, we realized that this woman had a habit. This woman was nasty. She talked nasty. She get even worse outside the church. She had one face on in the church and another face on outside of the church. And it was just a real nasty attitude. And that that like it pulled us. We were like, we don't know what to believe. Is she a good person? Is she for God or not? And that's how it is when you get around people who start mocking you and stuff, and then all of a sudden they play nice to you. You better watch your back. That all of a sudden they playing nice after being like that to you. You working with something dangerous there. But anyways, that's what I was wanting to talk about because it was on my heart and mind today to let people know why I do talk about narcissism a lot, and it's because I was hurt by a lot of them, and I attracted a lot of them. And I don't want to say that. I want to say that I learned how to be really nice, loving, and caring because I was hurt so bad that I made up in my mind as a young child that I didn't want to hurt others the way that I had been hurt. And even with this, me saying this, now somebody will watch this and they'll go back and they'll make it about them. And they'll have the same testimony. And not that we don't all have the same testimony, but it's just you know that there's something that's off with that person's testimony, and you like something don't sound right about that because that's not the person who I know. Well, that's how it is. That big old dog. Y'all know her sister was finna run. What are you doing here? Go back. Okay, so usually when I see this dog around, it just means that its owner is not far away. But yeah, it's bad business, and I'm just gonna leave y'all with this. I know it feel bad when people start mocking and mimicking you, and you just happen to go around certain people, and you feel like, hey, that's what I was doing. They just stole my idea. You know, your idea of life has been hijacked by the narcissist. Count it all joy. Whatever your idea of life was before you realized what they were doing to you, go back to that and grow. Don't let them stop your hopes and dreams, because when we really look at it, all of us are in God's hands. And those that he had withdrew his hands from, those with the reprobated mind, don't be trying to go out here and save them and mess around and you drown. Don't do that, because the Bible speaks that there are just some people that you're not going to be able to get through. Shake that dust off and keep on moving. Keep living. Don't stop your life. Get back to doing things you love. If you don't know, if you've been around them so long like I was, I had catered my life to doing everything they wanted me to do. It got so bad to where everything that was in my home was what other people liked it. Nothing in there was what I liked it. I had to start with my home. I had to clean all that stuff out and start putting me in it, me in my house. The things I like, the things I like to do. I love flowers. I love all kind of stuff. And I didn't have that. I had my home looking what would be pleasing. There goes that word again. Pleasing. What would be pleasing to them. And I wasn't true to myself. Get back to being true to yourself. And I'm telling you, once you start doing that, I told y'all, when you see that dog come around, they're around here with them Wi-Fi jammers, and I can't stay on here long. So I'm going to go ahead and get off. But y'all, peace, love, and happiness. And I hope to be able to do more videos like this. I'm not trying to call people out. I'm just telling you real life things that I went through, that I wish that I would have had somebody I could call on, like my plus size grandma, to tell me that, hey, this is a possibility. You might run into people like this. See, I didn't have that. I had to figure things out on my own, and I didn't realize how bad mentally and physically this was, and how it really took a hold of my brain. Like, My brain was fogged. My brain was like sore. I mean, it does so much to you. So when I started learning, and once I got in the safety zone where I'm like, okay, I'm okay to talk about this now. I've healed from that part. And it's in parts. You're never going to heal everything all at once. It comes in parts, and God will handle you in parts. Yes, we have a whole heart. Yes, we can get out here and live a whole life. But when it comes down to the healing, we go in seasons and parts of pieces, because it's going to be pieces that you don't even realize that's broken and need fixing. And God going to give it to you a little bit at a time. All right. Let me get in here with Serenity. Ain't no telling what that child up in here doing. All right. Peace, love, and happiness.